Happy Tuesday, Terry. How are you doing today?
Good, and happy Tuesday to you too.
Oh, yes. It's the best day of the week, Tuesday.
Yeah, I like
Well,
Tuesdays.
you're back in the groove, after being Mondays. I never really have the Monday blues. It's something I never really had. I suppose that I was I don't know if I was always happy to have a job or just happy to get out of the house or I don't know what, but
Yeah, with me, when I had my own business, I really never knew what day it was because I worked every day. So it didn't matter to me whether it was Monday or Friday or Wednesday. It was all the same.
yeah, that's how I feel now, being the James Brown of horse racing, being the
Yep,
hardest working man in horse racing.
you are.
Yeah, I got to start working on those James Brown splits to add to my my repertoire of horse racing.
And your screams too. You gotta
Yeah, the
scream like he
screams.
does.
I just did one there. Ha, James Brown.
Yeah, that was good.
I did like James Brown. Yes, you got to put in got to pay the cost if you want to be the boss, Terry.
That's right.
Absolutely, for sure. Speaking of the boss, maybe this horse might be the boss come Del Mar when they run the Breeders' Cup coming over from Europe, and that's St. Mark's Basilica. Have you watched this horse run, Terry?
I have not. I should. I could see it today because I have a link to it. So
Yeah, if you go over to Horse Racing Radar, you'll see the story about St. Mark's Basilica winning in the Irish Championship on the weekend, and that was a Breeders' Cup win, and you are in race for the Irish Champion Stakes. And then one of the horses that it beat too is a really good horse in Poetic Flair. I'm curious if this horse comes over to the United States or not for the Breeders' Cup. If it does, I feel like that horse will be yes, Tom Carley says this horse is truly eye-catching, and I agree. I feel like if it comes over, it's going to end up being the favorite in the Breeders' Cup turf.
yeah, probably will be. I mean, I read that article, and it had, of course, Aidan O'Brien trained, and Ryan Moore was a jockey. But they're trying to decide whether to come from the Breeders' Cup Turf Club or to go to the Prix d'Arc at France. So
that big race in France, huh?
Yeah.
The key will be if you can keep from getting the winter coat before coming to California. Yeah, it's probably something, which is a visual handicapping tip, Tom says. So, yeah, keep an eye on that. But a lot of those horses do come over from over there, and they score, a lot of them at big prices. Unfortunately for St. Mark Basilica backers, I don't think if the horse comes to here instead of Paris that the horse won't get a big price at all. I think it'll be a pretty small-priced horse for sure. But something that's not small in terms of news, Terry, and it seems to rear its head way too many times in our business. At least, I mean, we've only been doing this for about 2 months now, right?
Yeah.
And it seems like these things come up over and over and over and over and over. But we had, I don't know if you saw this video with Amber Cobb with the horse.
Yeah, I did, and I was pretty disturbed about it. I saw it a week or so ago, and something's wrong with her. I don't know, she's mad at somebody or the world or something. The way she just was terrible. So,
yeah, I don't know if you haven't seen the video yet. Basically, it starts off. It starts off on the ground. Someone who's got a camera is they're waiting. They're clearly waiting to take a film of what's happening, and she starts yelling. You can hear somebody yelling off in the distance some obscenities, and you want to act up. You beepity beepity beepity, and then on and on and on. So then the lady who goes to take the film pulls up, and you see a horse. You don't see a person. The person's off the screen yelling at the horse, but the horse is clearly distressed, and it's literally climbing up the walls.
Yeah, it was sad. It was heartbreaking for me. I mean, it shouldn't treat anything like that. A horse, a dog, or human, or anybody nobody should be treated that way.
And then the horse does climb up the wall one final time. She doesn't really, if you read the articles at first, I expected to see her like beating the horse, but she just kind of has like some sort of like giant fly swatter looking thing, obviously used to intimidate the horse along with the screaming. The horse gets so stressed out, it climbs up the wall and flips over onto its side. And then when it's on its side, it's taking some very deep breaths, clearly stressed out by this lady being here. And the folks, yeah, it was a terrible video. I do that was really abused. But I mean, we got that Tom coming off of the guy in Ireland sitting on the dead horse, right?
Yeah.
We have other incidences here where people are putting horses in that are accidentally drugged into and winning our biggest races. It's almost like if we're trying to self-sabotage ourselves. I don't think you could take the person who's the most ardent anti-horse racing person, stick them in the business and have them do things like this that the people who are supposedly in the business and love the business are doing to self-sabotage the business.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
So if you're pissed off, lady, about something, whatever it is, just go to the gym and beat up a punching bag. Or really what I see, the same thing you saw, Terry. I see a woman who needs help.
She does. I think she needs mental help.
Yeah, she's angry about something, and it has nothing to do with the horse. The horse is just a defenseless creature that she has power over, that she can push out against without any fear of any retribution. Thankfully, people who have probably seen this before from her were waiting and videotaped it and got it out for the world to see. And now for the lady and the horse, everybody will be better off because she'll probably get the help she needs now.
Yeah, that's true. I'm hoping she does.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't know much about her, but it does seem to me like she's angry at something because she is taking it out against something that has absolutely no ability to defend itself.
Right.
All right, Terry, we don't really have any ability to defend ourselves lately either, my friend.
No.
Our pick fours lately have been pretty bad. So if you want to scream and yell at Terry and I, please go ahead. Just keep it, keep it G-rated or PG-rated. We can go PG-13. That's it. Anything worse than PG-13, we'll have to delete those comments.
Right.
But we'll try again today, Terry. But before we do that, let's go ahead and take a look at your best bet. I know yesterday you mentioned that the first one scratched at the gate.
Yes,
your top
it did.
pick. But your second pick then becomes, hey, it's horse racing the way it works, right? If the favorite scratches in a pick 3 or pick 4, you get the next favorite. Or if your horse scratches, you get the favorite. So if your first pick scratches, your second pick becomes the favorite.
And that's what happened. My second pick, Puffer's Fish, actually won the race and paid $340, $280, and $240. And my third pick, B-Wings, ran, I think, fourth. But today, I like Fort Erie, the 6th race. And I like number 2, Jack and Beanstalk. He's finished in the money in the last 5 races, winning 2 of them. He has a high percentage trainer and jockey. His trainer wins 35% with the horses that they bring back after the third race, on the third race after a long layoff. Mm-hmm. And then he has 2 bullet works in a row, one for 4 furlongs, 47.3, breezing, best out of 19. And the other one was 5 furlongs, 59.4, best out of 10. And then my second choice is number 9, Be Very, Very Quiet. Has a high percentage trainer and can improve while returning to the dirt. Trainer has 100% of the time when going from a route to a sprint. And he should improve at the shorter distance and has the highest speed figure at this distance. Mm-hmm. Then number 8, Money Matters.
Always does. Money always matters, Terry.
It does. And Money Matters has finished in the money in the last 4 races and will be closing at the end. So.
All right. So that sounds like a good 3. And obviously, Terry, you picked Fort Erie today because that's where we're going to be going for our fly for today, Terry.
That's right.
Over to Fort Erie because Fort Erie today has I think they have 3 or 4 stakes races. I know that 2 of the races that we have in our fly for are stakes races today. So that's why we picked Fort Erie, because they have the biggest races today. And let's go ahead and get started with our fly for, Terry, in race 7. This is a 5 furlong race that has 50%. I think they've run it 28 times at the distance. 50% of the horses have gone wire to wire. And I really don't feel like it's a race that we have to go all that deep in, but maybe. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah. No, I don't think so. I think we can do a couple of them and be all right. So,
which one do you want to start with?
Number 2, Lost Corsage. She has a high percentage trainer, Anthony Alderson, and the highest last race speed rating. She drops in class today, and her early speed running style helps her chances. She should improve at the shorter distance, and her best start speed is fastest among today's starters.
I do agree that the 2 horses it's tied for the last race, top last race speed figure and dropping in class. That's an angle that I like. So when I see those words combined in the Brisness past performance box score there, I circle that usually. So that's one you might want to keep an eye on if you're new to horse racing or if you've never used it before. The only thing I worry about a little bit with the 2 horse is some regression in form, but she does have some of the best early pace figures getting out of the gate. The other horse that I think has some pretty good early pace and likely to get out of the gate and is not regressing in form, Terry, has actually got a little bit better last time as she carried her speed all the way to the finish line before getting beat by 3/4 of a length, and that's Terms and Conditions. So that's the other horse that I feel like can get out to the front along with the 2. Well, I don't know if the 2 is actually going to get to the lead, but I feel like the 3 has a really good shot of being on the lead. And then because that form looks like it's getting better, taking it all the way to the finish line and adding to that 50% wire-to-wire scorecard at Fort Erie at the distance.
Yeah, she's my third choice, and she ran her last race at Fort Erie. She has the highest last race speed rating. She finished 42% of the time in the money during her career, winning 14% of those races. And that's the best record of any of the horses in this race.
I'm curious. You said that's your third pick. Who's your second pick?
Number 1, Play It Smart. She likes the track, finishing in the money 75% of the time, winning 25% of the races, and can handle the distance. She's having a good year, finishing 75% of the time in the money, winning 25% of those races.
I like the 1 too. The 1 does have some early pop out of the gate for sure. It has run okay at Fort Erie with a win in 2 seconds and 4 tries. It's another horse, though, that to me, Terry, that last time out fractions were slower than the race before, wasn't able to carry its speed, and I see a regression in form in the 1 horse. It doesn't mean that it continues to regress. That's just what happened in the last race. For me, a horse that I like a little bit better than the 1, and it's offering a lot more, at least better morning line odds. It regressed 2 last time out at Woodbine. Leave It With Me, the 5 horse. Mm-hmm. But the 5 horse should be, I think, if the 3 doesn't get the lead, I feel like the 5 horse is going to get the lead. And if you look back at these horses that have gone from Woodbine to Fort Erie, in many cases you see the Fort Erie race, the first Fort Erie race, it produces a better speed number than the races that they were running over at Woodbine. If that's the case, this horse already has some of the best back class in the field, which is relative to the other horses, obviously. But if it does take to the new surface, it does see its speed figure bump, it absolutely has the best early pace in the field. I feel like the 5 horse is the one that could get out of the gate that people aren't really looking at because that form looks bad in the last couple races, facing a little bit less tough of a field here, I feel like, and could maybe carry that speed from beginning to end. So maybe we put the 1 and the 5 off to the side and come back and decide on which one we want to throw in there later on.
Sounds good to me.
All right. So is there any other horse that you wanted to consider here or no?
No, that's fine.
All right. So race number 8 is one of the 2 stakes races that I talked about. That is the Molson Cup. So you get a cup of Molson if you're at the track today. What a great deal. You get a ticket and a Molson. I don't know if you do or not. I'm just saying anyway. It's a 1.16 miles on the turf. They don't really run very many at that distance. They come out and they pretty much turn left right away. So I suspect that you're either going to get one of 2 things, a horse that comes from all the way from the front, speed, or you're going to get a horse that comes from the back. I don't know that you'll get one that's in the middle based upon that early turn, as I feel like the ones that are in the middle are going to be out of position right away. So I don't know for sure, but that would be my speculation. Terry, who do you want to start with?
Well, first of all, I think they've taken the races off the turf. So
okay, so it's all on dirt then.
I think so, yeah. I could be wrong about that, but I think I heard that earlier today. But I like number 5, Cheeky Pint. She loves the distance, winning 3 out of 4 times, and likes the track. She's won 2 out of 3 times there. She has a high percentage jockey and the highest last race speed rating. And the trainer wins 66% of the time that he enters a horse in a non-graded stakes. She has, stake races. She has a good 4 long workout of 46 breezing, best out of 4.
Yeah, if they move this race off of the dirt, off of the turf, though, she's not run on dirt yet, so it's tough to say really what that horse will do. It has run on an all-weather track a couple times. Again, those Fort Erie numbers tend to go up a little bit from horses that come from Woodbine. The horse is coming from Woodbine, has run on the Fort Erie grass, so that does concern me a little bit. Looking at the other horses that are in this field, the 5 horses beat most of them. Cheeky Pint, right? It's if the race is on turf, I don't really see anybody beating them. If the race is not on turf, then the only horse I think that even still on dirt that's even shown much of a fight on dirt is the 6 horse. Outside of that, or maybe the 1 brings up a little bit longer odds, but the 6 horse has won 4 of 9 on a fast track. I don't know that it'll be sloppy there because I read that it's only a slight chance of rain, if even, and maybe some thunderstorms later on in the day. So the only horse I feel like could beat him would be the 6 horse on dirt. But even that, to me, Terry, could be a stretch.
Yeah, the 6 Express Banking, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't actually have that one, I don't think, in my picks. I actually have the number 2, Caparia. She's run second in the last 2 races at Fort Erie, and the distance won't be a problem as she's finished 50% of the money, winning 17% of those races. And she has a high percentage trainer, Paula Lussinger, who has in the last 14 days won 2 out of 4 mounts. Mm-hmm. And also, I think that if you look, I think she's ran on the
the 2 horses on the dirt was run on the dirt 3 times and has a 3rd.
Yeah.
And it's a horse that will be coming from likely off the pace. The one time it did run on the dirt was at Fort Erie, a race that was supposed to be on the turf. It got moved off to the turf, and she took the lead and then faded very badly at the end. So I'm not quite sure what to expect if it moves off the turf to the dirt. That's why I like the 6 horse, because the 6 does have 4 wins in 9 races on dirt. And the other horse that's fared well on the dirt is the 1 horse, Naked Illusion. Mm-hmm. They're going to be closers. So I feel like there's probably not going to be a whole lot of speed up front. And if there's going to be inside speed, I feel like the 5 will be close to the front, probably right behind whoever's setting the pace. And the most likely the pace setter is going to end up being either the 2 or the 6. I mean, the 2 or the 7.
Okay.
So if that's the case, then Terry, I think we can go with the 2 because I don't think there's going to be a lot of speed in this race early on.
Okay.
And then maybe if we have money, I don't know that we need to go more than 2 deep here, because I feel like the 5 horse still should be the class of this field and perhaps take this race from beginning to end anyway. Yeah. What do you think?
I agree with you. We can put the 6 off the side if you'd like.
Mm-hmm. Or maybe we could put it in a little bit later. We'll see. Race number 9, Terry. They go back to 6 furlongs. Again, speed. 36% of the horses are winners that are go wire to wire. And for me, basically, I just looked at the 4 fastest horses coming out of the gate. I like the 4, the 1, the 2, and the 6. Those are the 4 horses I think have the best chance to get to the lead. I feel like one of those 4 is going to produce the winner. Any one of those 4 that you feel like will produce the winner?
Yeah, and the 4 is one of the good ones that you were talking about. And I like the 2.
The 4 and the 2?
Yeah, but I like 4, 7, 5, 2. That's how I like them.
You like 4, 7, 5, and 2. So we'll put the 4 and the 2 in there.
Okay.
And let's talk about the other ones. Let's see why you like or dislike the 1 horse. Tail of Vienna, Terry, should have, I think, has a really good chance to get out. Oh, there's another reason why, too. I really like the 1 and the 2 and the 3 for that matter. If you look at the post position bias, mm-hmm. almost half of the winners, probably even more than half of the winners, came from posts 1, 2, and 3. The 1 horse, the rail horse, has won 20% of the races, so it's won 10 of the 50 races. And then between the 2 and the 3, they've won another quarter of the races. So almost half of the races have been won between the 1, the 2, and the 3 post. And you have speed, so I don't really see a whole lot of speed with the 3 horse coming out of the gate, but the 1 horse absolutely has speed, mm-hmm. and it's on the rail, which wins at 20%. So I feel like we have to have the 1 in there.
Yeah, I think you're right. The 1 does show a lot of early speed, so let's stick it in there.
All right, and then so you pick 1, and then we'll be done with our 4 here.
Okay, I want the 4 in there.
Well, we have the 4. We have the 4, the 2,
Oh,
and
I'm
the 1.
sorry. Okay, then then I want the 7.
The
He's
7
won.
horse.
Yeah, he's won at Fort Erie twice, and out of the last 4 races at this distance, and he has the highest last race speed rating and a good jockey combination, jockey trainer
So
combination.
what's on tap?
What's on top? Yeah.
Yeah, that's the name of the horse. Okay, we can go with that horse. I feel like maybe the 6 horse is going to be one that scares us at the end, but we'll go ahead with the 7.
I think the 6 is scratched.
Oh, then that makes it easy for us. Okay, good.
Executive decree.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I think it's scratched.
Okay, good. Perfect. That makes it even easier today. I was so busy getting all the slides and stuff together earlier in the day that I didn't really have a chance to look at it. So finally, in terms of who scratched, I was busy looking at the horses themselves. Race number 10 is mile and 3/16. This is the Prince of Wales Stakes. It's a $400,000 race. It's a good race for horses foaled in Canada. Terry, there's a lot of horses that came out of the Queen Plate races for qualifying. I think actually a few that actually ran in the Queen's Plate, which is one of the top races, I think, in Canada. I think it's the oldest running race in North of America too, but I'm not 100% certain on that. I think it goes way back to like the Civil War.
Yeah, I think you're right. Well, I had a hard time here with deciding whether to put 3 or 1 on top. And I finally decided to use 3 on top as Curling's Catch. He was a beaten favorite in his last race, but trainer Mark Cassie wins 24% of the time when he brings a beaten favorite back to race. And he had an excuse in his last race as he was blocked at the head of the stretch. He has a good jockey, Patrick Husbands. And
very good.
Yeah, and that Mark Cassie and that jockey in the last 14 days have won 3 out of 5 entries.
Also making the third start off a layoff. A little concerning that the last time the horse made it through 3, and the only other time it made it through 3, that it did have it took a step backwards in round 3. So it'll have to change that form today to get there. I did put the 1 horse on top, Terry. The horse should be closing pretty well at the end. I feel like the 1 horse is a horse that is showing improvement. So it's the 4 start off a layoff. It is getting better. Last time the horse had all sorts of trouble and still almost managed to get within 2 3/4 lengths of the leader after having a really bad break. So I feel like if 1 horse Avo Man can catch a cleaner start, and then it probably won't have any problems then running down the rest of the field late.
Yeah, and I agree with that because, as I said, I had a hard time deciding which one to put on top. So they're pretty close to me. So
I think for me, I have a long shot, Terry, for my next pick, and that is the 2 horse Title Forces. It's a horse that is making its 4 start off a layoff. It is, in terms of like its consistency, it's one of the most consistent horses in the field in terms of the numbers that it produces. And there's really not much of a difference between the numbers it produces and any of the other top contenders in the field. It's another horse I feel like if it gets a really good trip with Emma Jane Wilson in the irons, we'll have a really good opportunity to go ahead and take this race from all the favorites.
Yeah, one of the things I like about it is it can either come from behind or it can drop, lead, get on top. And also the trainer is a 40% trainer when it goes from all weather to dirt. So
yeah, I mean, it's only been 5, but won 2 of them. So, and it's an all or nothing horse. I mean, I feel like this horse, if it runs its best, it has a really good chance to win. But it's not been in the best form, but nonetheless, even in its current form, its numbers are the same as all the top contenders. So why not take the better odds? Any other horse that you like here, Terry?
Yeah, I like number 5, HC Holiday. He's a closer. He's looking for his first win, but has the highest last rate speed rating. And trainer Kevin Ottar wins 20% of the non-graded stakes that he enters a horse in.
All right. You think there's any other horse that we should put here?
Another one I like is number 8, Keep Grinding. He is looking for a fast for his first win of 2021. He cuts back a little in distance, which would help him. And the trainer wins 50% of the non-graded stakes that he enters the horse in. He has a good workout of 59.2, breezing best out of 7.
So you like the 8 horse here? Should we put him in or put him on the side?
You can put him on the side till we decide on the others.
All right. So for right now, we have spent 16 So 32, so $16. We have a long way to go, Terry.
Okay.
No, we spent 32, right? Yes, 32 because we were 64. So 32.
Yeah.
So for me, the 2 and the 3 in the first leg, if I were to add anything in the first leg, I would want to take a shot with a longer priced horse. To me, I feel like the 2 and the 3 are the best horses in the field. And for me, the 5 horse is the next, is the long shot that I would consider. Okay. When you look at it relative to the 1 in the 6, who are the other 2 in the program that have better odds, you mentioned the 1 horse, they all came over from Woodbine to run at Fort Erie. And this is the first time for Leave It With Me to come from Woodbine to Fort Erie. If you look at the Woodbine speed figures for the 1, the 6, and the 5 horse had the better speed figures at Woodbine.
Okay.
So if they can carry that same type of form over to Fort Erie and you see that bounce, it should run a better number than the 1 or the 6. That's my thinking.
Yeah, let's put him in.
All right. So we'll put him in there. Then we'll just ditch the 1 in there, right?
Okay.
Or do you want to consider it later on?
No, you can ditch the 1.
So in race number 8, the 2 and the 5, is there anybody, do you think the 6 can beat either one of them?
No.
No. All right. So if you don't think the 6 can beat either one of them, to me, I was looking at him. I was looking at the 2 horse, the 8 horse. I was looking at the 6 horse. I was looking at a lot of different horses. I didn't feel like anybody was going to beat the 5 horse, that alone, any other horse. So I agree with you. I think we can ditch the 6 horse too. So if somebody scratches, then maybe we can put the 6 horse in its place.
Sounds good to me.
All right. That sounds good to me too. And that leaves in, so right now we are at 16 times 3 is 48. So $48, Terry.
Okay.
So the question is, do you want to put the 8 in there in race number 10? Or do you want to put something else in race number 9?
Okay.
So for me in race number 9, I did like the 6 horse as a long shot because I felt like when you look at the 36% speed figures, speed wins. This horse does have you said scratch, so it doesn't matter. Okay, so let's just throw the 8 in there and be done with it.
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
All right, so that means we got some good coverage at the end there, Terry.
Okay.
So we're at 20 times 3 is 60. So maybe we can even stick the 1 in the first leg. What the hell?
I think we can, yeah.
All right, so we'll just stick the 1 horse in here. And that'll be our pick 4 for the day on the fly 4. So we have 1, 2, 3, and 5 with the 2, 5, with the 1, 2, 4, 7, with the 1, 2, 3, 5, and 8. I think we pretty much went all, and didn't even realize it.
Yeah, that's good though.
So that's what 16 times 5, Terry, is
90.
90, exactly $90. Okay, perfect. So that wraps up our fly 4 at Fort Erie with a couple of stakes races in there. Hopefully we get back in the winner's circle with this one today, Terry.
Yep, I hope so.
I hope so as well.
And actually, aren't we like doing 40-cent pick 4s?
Oh, it's right. They're in Canada, so 40 cents. So it's even cheaper.
Cheaper, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So it's 80% of 90, which would be what, 72? Is that right?
Yep, $72.
All right. Whew, I'm glad that math worked out right, Terry. I would have been a little bit nervous. Otherwise, right? Live math on TV. Let's take a look at our fly 4s, Terry. Our hot dog pick 4s. As you can see, Terry has the 1 and 2, and then he has the 5 with the 2, 4, 5, 7 with the 1, 3, 5, 7, 8. His is $20. I went with the 2, 3, 5, the 5, 1, 2, 4. The 6 is scratched, so you can get rid of that one. And then the 1, the 3, and the 5. So what I'll probably do in mine is in race 10, I will add the 2 like I did in the prime rib or the fly 4. And mine will still be, at that point, mine will still be $18 and Terry's will still be $20.
Okay.
All right. One final thing today, Terry. Yesterday we caught Sasquatch for the third time, or for the second time, all at Fort Erie with our 3B parlay. I literally, every one of my horses finished second.
They did, yeah. And I kind of figured it up in my head, and you ended up with about $52. So
starting with 20?
Starting with 20.
Not bad. Well, we still got a long way to go to catch up to all of these that we've kind of left behind, right?
Right.
So, Terry, you're sticking at Fort Erie. Tell us what horses you like there.
Well, I like in the fourth race, I like the number 1 Force Survivor. And in the fifth race, I like number 5, Cheeky Pint. I actually
What?
think
Yeah, they're
Cheeky,
upside down. I don't know why I
yeah,
have that upside down.
I don't know, but maybe I sent it in that way. Who knows? But I think that horse is like kind of a standout. I don't think it's going to get beat
Uh-huh.
unless there's some kind of race problem. And then I like one that's a little bit longer shot in the sixth called Jack Beanstalk. And he's actually my pick of the day. I think he's listed at 6-1 on the morning line.
So Cheeky Pint is running in race number 8, right?
Yes.
I don't know why. I think I may have just hit the 5 instead of 8.
Okay.
So they are in the right order, just the wrong race number.
Yeah, you're right. It's the 8th.
So in race number 4, Terry likes Forest Survivor, and race number 6, Jack Beanstalk, and that's race number 8, not race number 5. With Cheeky Pint. For me, I'm over at Indiana Grand. I hope I have all the race numbers correct and the horse is right. Race number 4 is Southern Rags. Race number 7, the 3. Race number 8, the 3. 10 at 12, and Sleepy Dream. All right, Terry, that wraps up another day of horse racing today. Any final parting thoughts before we get up and out of here today?
No, I think that's about done it. I look positive for today. I think we're going to do really well, and I'm looking forward to tomorrow's Arizona Downs. We've never done Arizona Downs, so that ought to be a lot of fun.
Should be fun. Yes, we are going to handicap the Arizona Downs tomorrow because they have a couple of like smaller stakes races in Arizona. And as you said, we've never done that before. So if you're a fan of Arizona Downs or you're a fan of the show, make sure you go ahead and subscribe right now by hitting the subscribe button on YouTube. If you're watching on Facebook Live, hit the like button so that when we go live, you're notified. Of course, you can follow us on Twitter at Racing Radar. It's the same address for Facebook. And if you do like what you see, we do appreciate the thumbs up and the likes because, as I've mentioned before, it boosts us up, the algorithms for Facebook and YouTube and Twitter, which helps bring our show to more people. And while you're at it, make sure you head on over to Horse Racing Radar. You can check out the video, as Terry was talking about. It's about St. Mark's Basilica over there. Some really good articles. And, of course, we have our free contest every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, starting this Friday with Belmont Park opening up again.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Should be fun. A lot of big races this weekend, Terry. They start the Kentucky Derby and Kentucky Oaks qualifying this Saturday at Churchill Downs.
Yep.
I'm looking forward to that.
Me too. I like that track.
And I like to follow the Derby Trail. Terry and I will be following the Derby Trail and commenting on horses. And once they get into it a little bit, we'll start putting out our top 10s as well for which horses we like in the Kentucky Derby as the trail winds down to Churchill Downs for the first Saturday of May.
In May. Yep.
All right, Terry. Until we catch up again tomorrow in 23 and 30, may all of your bets be winners and hope to see you in the winner's circle.